Oh dear. Test it. Okay, so I decided to go ahead there and finish off the sanding here. So I'm going to start polishing this into a mirror now. Mirror finish, sorry, and I'm going to cut later. So I was going to use the washers to mount the guard, but I've decided to go against that now and create 8 tabs. So these tabs are, well, have a nice curve, this large radius and this small radius. So I'm going to jump straight into polishing these now, bring them up to a mirror finish. Just going to finish off sanding this face, this part of the curve here first. So I'm only focused on the curve because that's where I'm going to cut the 8 tabs from. 4 from this side and 4 from this narrow side, or this small radius. I'm going to drill later, by the way. So sanding now, polishing, cutting, welding, and then drilling once they're welded to the guards. So a bit of work again. So I wasn't going to polish this, I wasn't going to bring it up to mirror, but decided in the end I may as well because the rest of the parts is brought up to mirror finish. So I'll do that now. I'll put the camera into position. Camera 1. So I'm going to try and set up my other camera here first, just 2 seconds. The important camera, what I call it. This is for the video, so bear with me 2 seconds. Right, that's one going. So where do you want it? Over the top of this one? Okay, so hopefully you can see there nice and clear. If not, I can move it again. So I'm going to work on the radius, the middle of the radius at this part, but I got a marker. So I need 4 tabs. They need to be 12mm wide, so I'm going to cut them they need to be 12.5mm. So I'm going to cut them every 15mm. So I need approximately, say, 160mm. A wee bit more. So I'll polish in between these points. And the same goes for here. Tight radius, the larger radius. So I'll do that now. So I've brought this up to 320 grit. Sufficient. Could go more, but no point. So what I've took all stuff off the bench. Falling everywhere. See how it looks already? So what I'm doing here is I'm crisscrossing, turning the bar each time, turning the bar each time. Inside's not really important because you don't see it. It's on the inside of the guard. So again, what I'm doing here is, this is a spare part from the guards earlier that I live streamed. So what I need is 4 tabs off this tight radius and 4 tabs off this larger radius. So I'm not using washers to mount the guard, the front guard to the back guard, because it would look quite crap and unprofessional. So I decided to go with proper tabs here. So I will drill holes in this, but I'm not drilling the holes until the tabs are welded on the guards themselves. So I'll start polishing here now. So I'm really digging it in there. Just stopping the other camera here. Don't want that to happen. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change that wheel because it's done. Oh, it's not going to come off though. that gonna come off now? Oh dear. Sisal will. It was quite aggressive. It's actually more dangerous now. Be careful. Be careful. If I hit this edge, boom. Just a safety measure, in case I hit my hand here. Oil apart. Tap it out. Is it oxygen type? No, it's not oxygen type. What does it say? It's more dangerous now. The weight of the wheel is like a flywheel going around. It's bigger and more awkward. Yeah, that's the guard for the compressor still. So what I'm doing is I'm making 8 tabs to mount them together rather than using out washers just. I'd be happy with that, you know. For the tabs, you're not going to see them that well. They're in between the mesh. So the idea is have them, 8 of them, in behind the mesh. So they'll be cut at 12mm, 12 and a half. I'll mark them out and cut them in a moment. If I get them polished here, about wrecking the place for myself. Okay, so what I'm going to do here now is work on the inside. This is quick air. So what I'm going to do is going to put the wee wheel back on. Just safer, sorry. There's the wheel now. What's harder, the inside? They're not going to how long they're here. It's actually more effective than inside. The harder to do, harder to go. compressor rolling. That's the compressor running with one pump. Well out. Okay, so that's good enough. Just inside here now in this big one. Then I'm going to finish it off on the other map, the other wheel. So this drain pipe's catching because this wheel's going on further. It'll be alright. But I gotta look at it just. Might just take a wee bit off it. But that's doing no harm. That'll wear away. So just here now, and then I'm going to start cutting them after I polish them. But for now, I'm just going to keep polishing, then I have to use the other camera again. I can't forget about it. It started to rain, top it. So I'm going to move it here 2 seconds. So it's hard to keep it on view here because of the angle that I have it against the wheel, but yeah, I'll keep it up. So I am going to try and get these cut on camera and all, and on this live stream. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. See, it's quite tricky because it's big now. I'll go this way. Hit the camera. So that says 316 stainless. Looks well there now. Have to cut this. Got a wee bit off it. So I'm trying to crisscross rather than just holding it in one direction. So I'm either going like this, and like this. I'm going to move over to the other wheel here. So I'll try and get a good angle. How's that look? Try it there, sir. So this is like a clock, a six clock wheel. It's not cycle. This is a cycle wheel. So I have my hands yanked to my body here in case it decides to take off. In case it catch this edge here, this way. gauges. Too much heat and I'll lose the curve. With no pressure at this point. Here, that's good enough for what I need it for. I could go further, but I'm not going to bother. So what I need to do here now is cut this in 4 pieces. Well, 6 pieces. Is it 6? Whatever. I need 4 parts. Or 4 wee small parts, let me see. There was one on the bench. There's one away over there. Let me see if I get it here. So I need 4 wee tabs now. So look at the difference. So this is full of wee pitted areas before I sanded it. Then you have this mirror finish now. But that's not just as simple as running through the polisher. Like I have to go through different stages of sandpaper. So I need 4 tabs now. I'm going to take them from here, and I'm also going to take them from here. Obviously, if you usually looking at this and you probably think I've polished from here to here, but really it's pitted to about this point and pitted to about this point. So I need 4 of these bigger radiuses, bigger diameter, and they need to be 12.5mm wide. So it's impossible to polish these if I had them cut. So I'm going to cut them now in a minute after this bar is polished. And then I'm going to move on. Might mount them to the guards, but probably not in the live stream. So I'll polish this one now with this wheel. I might demonstrate the final loose cloth wheel, because it gives you a much better finish using a finer compound, finer polish. So the more pressure, the more heat, the better the finish. when I'm polishing this, I'm keeping the curve in shape by putting a wee bit of pressure this way. Here, that's good enough too. I could go further, but there's no point. So just here now. Just see if anybody has any questions. What you making? I'm making a guard for a compressor. 4 tabs. I don't know what that is there at all. I don't understand what language that is. I'll show you in a wee minute when I have this polished what I'm making. If you want. This is dangerous. It's not the first time I had a set a bag of water over the top of this motor field windings here because it got too hot. So it gets too hot. It's a 600 watt machine. It obviously has the power, but see if you overwork it, it gets hot here and obviously it gets less efficient and less power. So usually what I do is I get a bag, water type bag, and I set the bag of water over here, and it really works really well. But I'm nearly finished now. This is roasting. I actually had to polish my aperture off a bag of water sitting here for weeks, and the water actually got quite warm. And the aperture is coming very soon. Okay, I'll keep her lit. Wee minute, yeah. I might demonstrate the other wheel because there's 3 different stages here. This is a stitch cloth. This is a sisal, and when I go to the loose leaf cloth, I use a finer compound. But because this here is not that important, you're not going to see it. Well, you see it, but you don't see it. It's a compressor guard, like so. I might demonstrate it anyway. I might put the camera here to record. Hopefully not. Here, do you want to see what I'm making? So, I'll get that stop. Look. 2 seconds. Okay, so this is a compressor that I've built. I know I've discussed this so many times, right? So here's 2 fancy guards. Here's the 2 backing plates that I done today. So we have this band that I've created that's welded directly to this backing panel. we have this one. So this is for this tandem compressor. This guard and this guard fits over these backing panels, and when these guards is placed over these backing panels, right, there's nowhere for me to mount this guard properly to the tab, this band that I've created. So rather than weld a washer to this point where my thumb is, I'm going to put a tab, a mirror polish tab at this point at the back of it. So it'll sit flush. It'll sit flush with this bar and it's the same radius. It will be welded at this point. Here and here, well, down here. And then I will drill a hole in it. So I'm going to go back out here and get started again. I'll get this other wheel. What do you see where this bag of stuff is? It's in here somewhere. When I go in here and get it. Might lose signal in here. Right, so this is my bag of polish and stuff. So we have the different wheels. I discussed the two wheels that I'm using out there. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just go through the last stage for anybody that wants to, well, learn on this polishing. So I'm going to set the phone up again here. So, if that's okay, neuter and main. Don't know what that means. Okay, so going to focus with here to finish this off. I'm still not happy with this. The rest of them looks okay. Good here, good here. It's good here, and it's a wee bit not good here. I'm not happy with it. So I'll keep her lit here. And then we'll move on to this leaf. So this leaf's for finishing. It's not required here, but I'm going to do it. And this live stream might run on too long. I'll try and get them cut in a minute. Oh, they're on polish. They're on polish, but it's alright. Let's just set this back on again. Okay, that'll be alright. You're not going to see that because it's on the side of the guard. I'm going to just demonstrate this other wheel before I move on here. Might get them cut here in the camera. They're on live because I need to start the other camera for it too. So this is a loose leaf, and it's for finishing. So the green. So I'm happy that for what they are. They're only 15mm wide or 12.5. But you're not going to see the imperfections in it. If any. Really effective, do that. It removes any marks left by the side hallway or that cloth, stitch cloth. There we go. So I have to leave the band on the guards for the same finish as this, but it will be much easier because I have the flat bar really prepped. But that is looking well there. Inside now, and then we'll start cutting these. There's a wee mark in the middle of that, but all holding. Just a wee mark here, just a wee mark left for the dual action sander. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over to the side saw to try and get it out, and then I'm going to come back over. back over again. Oh, we want that to happen. End up hitting that bit of metal. Spindle. Okay, so that's good enough. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to rev this bench and I'm going to start cutting these. I have to start the other camera up too. So I'm just going to remove all these tools that I don't need. And set that over here. So just to demonstrate the difference, I don't know if you can see that nice and clear. So mirror finish, focused at this point, and the same goes for that side. So I'm going to cut these now, I'm going to mark them. I don't need this. Get rid of it. Bin it all. Get a drink of water too. Right. Just checking the cutting disc, make sure, because I sometimes use them for grinding and it wears the face and they're less aggressive. Don't want it to slip in the mirrors. Finish, so I need to start the other camera up again. So that's a sample piece. Nearly there, hold on. Nearly there. Camera number 2. I'll put that in front of this one. So just bear with me a moment. Let's start this one up. Right. Hi everyone. Okay, so nearly there. What markers are better? No. Picture and recording. Okay, so I went ahead and polished this into a nice mirror finish. So what I need to do here now is cut 4 tabs, and these tabs need to be 12.5mm. So from the centre of this bar to the centre of this bar. Or a wee bit past it, not matter, but I'm going to mark them now, out now at 15mm. 15mm just to allow for the thickness of the cutting disc. So here we go. Need a tape measure. Well, that will be a good start. Right. There's no other way I can do this. That tape measure's done. Just have to try and work with it. I won't get another one. The problem is the backhoe doesn't like being bent, so I have to just go with this one. Take it away out. Okay. Try to keep this tight. That marker's too thick. I've got a plan here. Hold on a wee minute. So, to start where I polished, say there, 210, what about tighten the cable tie? Then I'm going to turn that way. There we go. So, 4 wee dots now, or 5, what do you see? Is that marker any better? It'll do. So every 15mm. There we go. So hopefully this works out. I don't want to be grinding them. Need another marker. Don't have one. Right. Okay, one, 2, 3, 4. And I also need 4 of this side, but I'll do that in a moment. Have to be careful here now not to slip. I'm just working between 2 cameras here. Well, the phone and the camera, so bear with me. That about. I need to shift the bench this way. So you can see my concentration there. I didn't want to slip at all. I haven't slipped. So I'm going to keep her lit here. I'm going to cut these 4 and then I'm going to move on to the other one. there we have 4 now. And there's a slight radius. So that radius is, it's not really important for where it's going, but that's in it. I had the bar sitting there. So I'll clean these later on. What I'm going to do here now is I'm going to move on to these ones. The large radius. So they're not as tight. Need to make sure I don't mix them up. So I'll set these over here. Just stopping the other camera, everyone. So getting back at it here now, I'm going to move on to the big one. Don't need the other camera. So same thing again. So I'm going to start the tape measure from this at the end here. Then I'll clamp it at this point. So I'm absolutely mental, I know, going to this depth for guards, but at the end of the day, it's a project. So same thing again now, marking every 15mm on the polished part. So the polished face starts here really. Start the other camera. My lace is open now. Okay. So on to the larger radius. We need 4 tabs again. So matching these, only they're different radius. These are tighter. Hold the tape measure nice and tight here. I'll go out this clean part. That is not 15mm. Tape measure's done. Could tweak them in the end anyway, but can tweak them in the end up. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And squiggle a line because they're different. Looks even, doesn't it? Number 1. Two. 3. So that's them complete. Well, I'm going to clean them with the grinder now, the backs of them, but... So, when I was cutting those, I was sort of using the bench to sort of guide, so to help me along. So see the wee cuts in the bench, stay steady at the end of the grinder before I start going onto the stainless. Not too much because you'd wreck this, but just a wee trick. So moving on now to the cleaning of the edges. I'll just start in these ones. Okay, so that's them. Well, I'm gonna leave these edges nice and polished off camera here, but all the hard work's done. So moving on to the next stage. Okay, so thank you for watching, everyone, those who are still on. There's the wee tabs now polished into the mirror finish. So they now will be used for the guards. So thank you for watching, everyone. I'm going to end this live stream. I said this morning the live stream that I done for these parts was going to be the last one, welding the bands to the backing panels. But me being me, I went ahead and done another live stream that ended up being an hour and a half long. So we're getting there slowly. Fancy guards, but a lot of work. As I say, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so, and you will see more unique projects coming up very soon. I have mentioned already the aperture's coming. Just have to get round it. The smart gloves coming. The what else is coming? The e-bike's coming. The battery build. And yeah, so we have a lot of interesting projects. The smart gloves really technical. This aperture. That aperture is really technical. Yeah, I'm getting there. So thank you for watching, everyone. Goodbye.